Hello, everyone. Welcome to a delayed episode 6 of the GRF show. Today, I have a couple of guests from Belgium. We have Shinyo and Busata, otherwise known as Stijn and Dries, who are two very valuable members of the GRF community. And we'll get into why they're so valuable to us and what such great guys in a few minutes. We will probably be joined by Denis at a later time within the podcast. So let's get to meeting them. Stijn, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks. How about yourself?
Oh, very, very good. Yeah, I've already kind of mentioned that you guys are both from Belgium, and you both have Japanese usernames, which I'm not gonna. I promised I wouldn't ask you about. So you're well. Actually, let me say hi to Dries. How are you doing today, Dries?
Hi, hello. I'm doing fine as well.
Okay, so so that we're clear, Stijn is Shinyo and Dries is Busata. So, well, let's start with basically telling us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, hello. I'm Stijn. I'm 37, I think. 37 years old. I have a wife and two kids and live in Belgium somewhere. I work for the country's biggest electrical producing company, where where I'm a controls engineer for anything gas turbine related. Um, and I used to have a bunch of hobbies, but when kids came around, the only real hobby that's remaining is going out for a run once in a while, a few times a week, and playing dirt rally, obviously, because I'm living in well, I have a nice rig, but it's in a desk area right now, an office area where also my wife works. So I'm waiting to finish our attic and then move to a real man cave. So that's me.
Okay, and Dries.
Yes, I'm Dries. I'm 35. I live in a small town in Belgium. I'm also married. I also have two children. I work as a freelance developer for the Flemish government, where I develop mostly applications for the internal users, which isn't that much of a fascinating job. So that's why the bots is so interesting to me to develop on. Um, my hobbies lately with children have been reduced to dirt rally itself and working on the bots. I used to be interested a lot in photography as well, um, and some 3D printing, other gadgets that I use for a week and throw into a drawer. Mm, So that's about it, I think.
Okay, great. And I guess we should mention that we did actually record episode 6 last week, but due to a technical screw up on my part, only my voice was recorded. And I didn't release that episode because even though I'm a narcissist, I thought an episode
Yeah,
would just
luckily that is the best part of the podcast show, your voice.
yeah, right. So I thought it might not be as interesting, we'd just be asking a bunch of questions and then a minute of silence every time, every now and again. So, we have gone through some of these things before, but it was actually, I had some questions last time because you'd mentioned you work on turbines, and I was wondering what kind of turbines stay in, and you explained that very well this time for power generation, I guess. Um, so that makes
Well,
sense.
actually, yeah, okay, no.
No, okay, go ahead.
No, it was a stupid comment, but if you really want to know, they're aeroderivative gas turbines. So
Okay,
if you take a Boeing 747 and
yeah,
you take its engine, put it on the ground, throw away the front fan and throw away the jet so it doesn't fly away because that wouldn't be producing that much energy.
yes,
And then you connect it to a grid, and the exhaust temperature you can still use for other processes in big plants. And so there you have it, electricity and heat and
fantastic.
water. yeah, and what I do is like very much related to the control system of that thing and the tuning of the combustion of that thing. So,
Ah, well, in the previous life, I used to be very much into aeronautics, so I would have asked you, is it a Pratt and Whitney 747 engine or a Rolls-Royce one? But we won't go into that.
well, it's a GE one
That's
actually.
a
So
GE one, okay, of course, the
yeah,
third,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the third option as well, as well as some Swedish and Russian possibilities as well. But anyway, so okay, and Dries, um, yeah, you gave a little bit more detail this time, and that's really interesting. You said you do stuff for the Flemish government, and that kind of segues nicely into something that I noticed when I kind of introduced the two of you. Like a matchmaker. Oh, you're both Belgians, so you must get along, kind of thing. Um, I got you guys kind of together, and then I think Shinyo or Stijn, you said something about. So just let me be sure. What do you call potato fries to Dries? So what was that all about?
Well, the thing is, in Belgium, there's like three communities, like two larger communities, which are well Dutch speaking and French speaking, and then a third one which we annexated from Germany after fighting hard in World War II, which is a German speaking. Um, but yeah, the potato fries. It was a friendly way of asking, are you from the southern side, which is French, or are you from the northern side, which is Dutch? Not that we have any hard feelings toward each other, but it's nice to know what, yeah, cultural background, or if you can, if you DM, you can already start talking your own language, etc. So it was a convenience thing. I don't know, Dries, can you add something here?
No, it was pretty obvious when you asked what you were inquiring. So
It was
Okay.
no racism. It was
no, no, no.
a
It's
practical
all
question.
mostly fun and games between the
Yeah.
two parts and of Belgium, I think.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, and so are you from the same I guess communities or
Yeah,
I
I don't know the exact name,
think
but I
Stan
think
is
Dries
from
can
Ghent.
elaborate because he works from, yeah, I'm
yeah.
from the Ghent region,
Hmm.
Yeah,
which
I'm
is
from
in the Flemish part. And
I'm from a town that roughly translates to Little Church, I think. It's not too far away from the highway.
Okay.
It's between towns that I better don't mention because
Yes.
people get wrong impressions about where I live. Or
one of the highways in Belgium.
yeah, the highway.
I see. Okay.
I
Good.
don't
Well,
live far from a city called Aalst, and usually when you say that you're from that region,
Ooh.
people already get a see. You already get
Yeah,
judged.
my eyes turn backwards automatically.
They have a
okay.
very uh, infamous carnival.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, maybe I expect you would elaborate if you felt it was appropriate to do so, but
Yeah, it's mostly
Well,
famous for its controversies, I think.
okay, okay. That's actually
I think
interesting that
everyone just should look it up as well.
yeah.
That's why I
While
never
you're
mention it.
listening, so you have your hands free, so you can look it up. What the Aalst festival is all about.
Okay. And how do you spell that? Oust.
uh,
Aalst is
Alst.
Aalst. Aalst,
Alst. Okay. Okay.
that's why I never
and
mention it. I always name the other two towns that are close, but it's getting harder and harder because they're also getting a bad name. So
Oh, I
yeah.
see. Well, it's interesting that you say that things are good natured between the different people who speak different languages and so on. I wish I could say it's the same here in Canada. It's always nice for me to see countries where people coexist well without yeah without that kind of conflict. Let's say. So
Well, yeah, okay. I was gonna
yeah, no,
make it
please
political, but I don't think it's not always that. Um, I mean,
harmonious.
there's a lot political parties that want to separate or make Flanders in its independent, I think,
Oh
or it
yeah,
was
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the goals. So
I see.
it's not always
Okay, I
fun
I
and games.
understand. I understand. And you know what? That's one of the great things, though, about the Dirt Rally 2 community is that we have people from everywhere. And I really love that we can, we can communicate and chat and find out where everyone's
Yeah,
from and so on.
the nice thing about global rally fans really is like we had a few people attempt to bring politics into the Discord, and they always got blocked by the community, not necessarily how do I say this? Not necessarily blocked, but really like, yeah, what are you doing here with this speech? We don't talk about this. Like, let's just talk about the game we like, and that's it.
Absolutely.
That's what I really
And
like about.
yeah, no, I agree that was there's one specific incident which actually kind of brings me on to well, you know, Dries mentioned his bots, and let me just so that everyone is clear on you guys. Shinyo is or Stijn is one of our admins. He's been a member for over a year in a club that's only been around for a year and a few months, and you've done major contributions to the you've made major contributions to the club in terms of organization, getting kind of special events with special scoring systems in order, organizing the team events much better, doing the podiums for these events that require external calculations, shall we say. And on top of that, you've been a really great moral support to me and other people as well, which has been fantastic and makes it an honor to know you. Um, but also when it came to an incident in the past where someone was being kind of antisocial and unnecessarily political, we came together and decided that this was no place for that. But you did try to offer support for the person who may have been going through um, some external factors as to why they were being antisocial like that, and it's very much appreciated. So
Yeah,
also, yeah, if you want to respond to that, go for it.
no, I mean it's well, that's those specific events were like really countered well through the admin team and through the GRF community. So it was nice being a part of it. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything, and the time and the place was not here for that kind of stuff. So I think the way it evolves is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it also galvanized us to make it kind of official policy in case it needed to be spelled out that this is no place for politics, racism, misogyny, that kind of thing. And
Yeah, correct.
intolerance will not be tolerated, kind of, right? Um, and as for Dries, I met you through the Dirty Discord, which is another club that is like my second home away from GRF. And they're kind of semi-official where they have people from Codemasters as part of the admin there, but they are not exactly official. Um, and that's where Dries and I met, and he's part of a group that was quite welcoming there too. And it's there where you first started making these bots. Would you like to tell us, Dries, a little bit about the bots for those who have no idea what we're talking about?
Yeah. So I made a Discord bot to which basically started reporting on the results of someone doing an event, and it kind of grown a bit. Oh yeah, it has outgrown that you say task. It now also creates championships automatically. So there's a daily championship at the Dirty Discord and also a monthly event. It has also spread to other Discords like GRF, and then a Swedish server where VP asked me to set it up. So that's basically I installed a bot and they all talk Swedish, so I never understand anything what they're saying there. So I just keep an eye on if the bot is working there. Um, so yeah, I enjoy working on it. I get a lot of positive feedback about it. It's fun to do as a hobby. I also learn a lot from it for work purposes because I can use it to try out various things. Like right at this moment, the bot is broken, so it's not it's not working because I've been playing around with things. So yeah, I don't know if I can tell anything else about it.
Sure. Well,
Um,
just so that people know, in the GRF Discord at least, you'll sometimes see automatic posting of the latest results as someone finishes their run. That's one of your bots. We can summon a bot by using the a slash and then usually a results. Type in results and you get a various options there, like you can see the latest standings or in the championship or the latest standings in the current event. You also made a power stage bot as
yeah,
well for the Dirty Discord. And so I'm missing out this one big step, which was, together with Stein, I asked you whether you would work with Shinyo to uh, bring some of these bots to us, and you were very readily accommodating, much more forthcoming, and saying, "Sure, I'll do that." It was much easier than I expected, and I'm really grateful that you did that because I think it really changed the way GRF presents itself and how easy it is to see what's going on, and it certainly sparks a lot of discussion and posting of emojis and emoticons at least.
yeah. I think it's fun. That's part of the auto posting. It's fun to see your result arrive in the chat, and then you can tell something about it. And I think that keeps some of the chat active.
Yeah, I
Um,
love that people even reply to the bot. I do that sometimes, which is quite cool too. So, Shinyo, I know Stein, I know you've been working with Dries for a few things. Is there anything that you're currently trying to develop with him, or have all projects so far been accomplished?
Well, for now, there's nothing active going on. I want to emphasize that Dries is really the main man after behind the bot. I'm
Okay,
just here to accommodate the practical side or the application, the yeah, the applying it to whatever GRF wants to do with it. But right now, we don't have any active developments going on. I think maybe we were talking about also going for the power stage thing because we don't have such a thing yet
right.
in GRF. But besides that, it's really, like you said, it's really awesome to have it in here. It sparks discussion. It brings in a dynamic component where people are like myself. When I do a good run, I wait for the bot to say that I did the run, and then you can just pick in on it. Oh, cool. Now that you mention bot, oh wow, that's how my run went. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's really awesome. See, people don't have to go and check on the Dirt Rally the website to how your time was, etc. No, it's just it's right there. You don't need to do any extra shit. You can just discuss it locally. It's really awesome.
yeah. I noticed some
And yeah,
some. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, I have nothing more to add here right now. I think it's awesome the work that Busata did. I think it's, like you said, awesome how quick he was in accommodating our needs, all our needs, even with the new GRF tiers we implemented and the interface to manage everything. It was really nice to work with Busata on that.
It's funny because while I was working on that, I got a message from Weepy asking, "Can't we have a tier system like they have in GRF?" But I also wanted to work across clubs, and it has to post the stage results in between. And I was like, "Oh no, I first have to finish."
You need to monetize it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's a cool thing to tinker with, and I learned a lot from playing around with it.
Yeah, I know
And
that.
it's tricky to manage because it's a single bot across all it's a single application that connects to all the servers. So
Ah,
I have a lot of work keeping it clean because the GRF Discord, for example, doesn't have the badges that Dirty Discord has.
Why not?
Um, and there are some other specific requests made for a specific Discord. So it's a fun exercise to keep that balanced in code wise. Then so that's quite cool.
Okay, I didn't realize it was all like one big application that you're using. Um,
Yeah,
right. So, talking about monetizing, I at first I thought um, it seemed like the demands to, or at least the requests to add new functionality and more stuff um, in the dirty Discord was kind of gaining momentum all the time, and there's more and more stuff being added. And I thought, for sure, maybe you're going to end up working for Codemasters or EA Sports or something. Um, Whereas all we can do to compensate you is send you some merchandise like an air freshener, I think, which is probably on its way to you now.
yeah, but that's great. I mean, getting recognition for what I'm doing, it's already more than enough. I enjoy the feedback people have or give me if a feature is working.
It's
Um,
fantastic. I should just go back a little bit. Stan, you mentioned the power stage. Do you want to kind of say what a power stage is? Because we don't have it implemented in GRF just yet. So
I
what
think
you
it's
think of power
well.
stages in real life and how we've got it.
What I think of power stages indeed, because I'm not a rally specialist, but
Okay.
I think normally it's one is the last stage or a set stage that counts for extra points within the event, and normally or mostly it's the last stage, and yeah, it brings extra stress in the event, but also extra excitement. The last stage to drive is mostly on the used tires or not. But also you're used most to the location, the car combo. So it's a nice dynamic there.
Right. So
But
like
please
in
elaborate, any
yeah.
rally enthusiasts. Please elaborate what a power stage can also be.
Yeah, I put you on the spot there. Dennis is going to be joining us in about 3 minutes now, and he's for sure
He's
more
gonna
of an
come down on me like the hammer of Thor.
well, the way I understand it is like you said, sometimes at the end of a day, like I think in the ARA, in the American Rally Association, they have a power stage. And it's a stage that, of course, counts towards the actual rally standings, but is also judged kind of independently as well for extra points. So your performance in the power stage can either, if you're in the lead already, it'll give you a bigger lead, but if you're not, it gives you a chance to make up some points on the leader if you're faster than them on that one stage. And in the Dirty Discord, I think it's a 5 point system, right, Dries?
yeah, the Discord uses a fixed stage format, so it's always two stages, short stages, then one long stage, and then the last one is the a short power stage. So there, the first one gets 5 points, and then four, three, two, one.
Right.
Um,
That's really cool. And of course, you've developed there a point system for the actual competition that is independent of what the RaceNet system uses, which we did find out how they did it historically, and it was some kind of weird system. But so that's the other thing that these bots allow us the possibility of, which is to create our own um, point system for championships, for multi-event championships that make more sense for the kind of clubs that we are, and then power stages. And maybe we'll do something like that in the future. We do listen to people's feedback, and I know that there's a bit of discussion on what we might do with special events coming up. So
yeah, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was done. I was if you guys have something to say, let's hear it.
I was more want I wanted to add that the point system wasn't just to make an extra point system, but it's because the bot is making a new event and championship every week, and we present it as a monthly. So I needed something that merged all the events together. So that's why we made a special point system to. um,
Right, right,
to
right,
be able to do that.
right. But that does open up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Um, right, so I think Dennis will be joining us very soon. Dries, actually, I'd like to ask you, how did you get into coding and rally? Because I don't think you've been doing this kind of thing very long,
Coding I've been doing
for a long
since
time.
as long as I remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mostly got into computers since I was a kid. I remember, and I don't know if it's a real memory or one that you, I don't know how you call that. But
you
I remember,
retrospectively create.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I remember playing a game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I
Hmm.
think on the Commodore 64. I think that was one of the first computers we had. My dad was always into computers.
Okay.
So I gamed a lot since I was a kid, and then that gaming turned into I want to make games, and then I started coding. Um, so I've always coded stuff, and mostly it led to nothing. But I've always been busy with it, and
Did you
so
ever make a game then, or?
I have some YouTube videos of embarrassing showcases. I think of stuff I have made, but usually it's
Let me look that up.
it's usually technical stuff that I try. Things that I want to recreate from a game that I saw, or some mechanic that I want to see if I can implement it. That's most of the fun for me. I'm not that good at the art side of games, so usually I get frustrated developing games because at some point you do have to make some art for it, and that's where I usually give up. So that's the coding. So I've never doubted anything. Never doubted my study choice and that stuff. So I've always coded. So that's what I um, still do for work. And then rallying, that only started last year, so about around this time, or around the time that we first recorded this podcast. It was my 1 year third rally anniversary. um I played Breakfast, the game called Breakfast, with a controller, and I figured I should try out a racing wheel. So I bought one, and then discovered that Breakfast isn't really playable with a racing wheel at all. So I've moved to Assetto Corsa for a week, and then that frustrated me. And then I started playing Dirt Rally, and uh, I really enjoyed it. It's funny to see. I don't know, how should I say it? It's cool to see how this hobby has been keeping me busy for the last year.
Right.
Usually I get interested in stuff and then get bored of it a week after, but Dirt Rally, and I think that's part of the community, or due to the community as well, I really stay interested in it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I certainly waste a ton of money on Steam sales buying games that I never ever play because I'm just addicted to Dirt Rally 2. So I keep
yeah, I
buying
have
these
this
things.
same problem now.
Well,
I'm
then again,
basically a
you
Steam
can.
collector.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the same problem. But also within Dirt Rally, you can also invest a lot of money if you want. So I think your setup has been growing gradually as well than this year. I thought you've gone to VR recently as well, Busata.
Yeah, I started with the wheel I bought was a Trustmaster T300. And then I quickly moved to the new pedals, because when I started out, I kept reading that pedals was the most important thing to invest in first, and I was scared I wouldn't get no, how should I say it? I was
The edge.
Yeah, the edge, and I also wanted to practice with the pedals that you would end up using with load
Mhm.
cells instead of the normal ones. So that's when I moved to the new pedals, and then I made a rig out of wood with scrap wood that I have lying around, because I'm also somewhat interested in woodworking. I followed a year of woodworking class. Um, so basically, the rig cost me nothing
Right.
except then for the chair. I got the cheapest racing chair that I could find, and I had to buy one of those cushions for my back in it. So, um, and then yeah, recently I switched to VR, and that's been really fun. I've not raced without it since I've got it, so I've really been enjoying that. So yeah, it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that you made your own rig, and I'll maybe talk about my own setup a little bit in a few minutes. But one thing that really struck me is that you've only been doing this for just over a year, and I think you've had some of the most rapid improvement. I know there are people out there who would say 1 year, shit, that's a lot, and will it take me that long to get good? And the answer is probably yes. But if you get that good in just 1 year, that's actually really, really good. And I know that you had in the Dirty Discord weeklies, and we have quite intense practice on that during the week sometimes. And very early on, I think you were really pushing the pace, getting to the top of some time trial tables. Admittedly, ones that weren't that popular, but still, I was very surprised to find out you've only been doing this a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe my advantage as well is that I have no prior racing experience or no real racing experience in other games, so maybe I don't have bad habits or I didn't pick up any bad habits. I don't know how it works. And I also think that part of the what we do at the Dirty Discord with the weekly trials, I think it really helps a lot. It's grindy the practice because you're practicing one stage over and over again. But for me, and it's always been like that, stages in Argentina, I always learn a lot from them.
Yeah,
You you really have to force yourself finding faster ways around the corner, and I can get really obsessed with if one of the aliens sets a time like 30 seconds faster. I really want to figure out where it's coming from,
right.
and it's still find very dazzling that we can't get closer. Um, that gap remains no matter how much you practice. You still have a 20-second gap or something to the alien drivers. That really fascinates me.
Yeah, I've been watching some of those videos of people, and there are some people who have like NBait66. He's one of the fastest drivers in the Dirty Discord, and his style is very similar to mine, but he's just better at it in every aspect, right? So you can, and it looks like he's really driving a car. And then there are some people who, when they drive, it looks like they're playing a video game. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying and can picture it.
Yeah,
You know,
and its footwork is amazing to see.
yes, yes,
I'm
absolutely.
always inspired by that footwork because then I start driving and then I start over exaggerating my brake and pedal and modulating it I mean like it's gonna make me faster. So it's always fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there are different styles that the aliens have, um, and then Jonathan Schaefer is just completely different from anybody else that I have ever seen as well. But we have our own kind of time trial competitions um, that I know Shinyo, you take part in, Stijn sometimes, and I have done so as well. But the Dirty Weeklies are slightly different and interesting in that after doing your time trial practices all week, you actually have to compete in a single stage event. So that's something that you can't restart. Do you have any thoughts of that? I would love to have something like that in GRF too.
I think, yeah, like you said, the concept is completely different. So what GRF, what you can do is just practice it hours on end and just take the fastest time you had. Whereas the natural progression of learning a stage that way or grinding a stage is that you get really, really confident in the stage. and then instead of driving 100%, you go and drive 98% and do the actual event. So that makes it, yeah, it's a completely different concept, and I like both ways actually. But saying that, now with the dailies that we added, I think a lot of people see the dailies a bit as a kind of the same thing. You practice a few runs and you do the daily as a time trial. Let's sort of say. So for me, the real time trial is the one, like the concept we have. You just grind and grind and grind until you have a time, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you crash or it doesn't matter whatever. You can just do it 100 times again without an official slot to participate in the end. But the one they have at Dirty Discord obviously is very interesting as well, because that's more rally related. You still have to cope with the stress and put your mouth where your money is, or I don't know how you call it. But yeah,
Right. Yeah, yeah, money where your mouth is. Yeah,
that.
um it is pretty cool to have to do that again because, you know, there was last season where 3 weeks in a row I had a very fast time trial time, fast for me, and I was expecting big things, top 5 times, and then I would end up DNFing on the first sector because of nerves or doing something slightly differently. And of course, that's frustrating, but it's also much more realistic a scenario, I guess, where you're playing for real.
Yeah,
And
it's more an ending you have, right? I mean, you can train and train and train, and then you do the event, and that's the closure. But the problem with me is when I do the time trial, and you're not, even if you have the world record, it's still like, God, I know I lost a tenth in that sector, and you keep. I mean, the grind is
yes,
even worse than.
yeah, yeah, and I think someone last time we spoke about this, someone made the exam analogy. Like the time trial is like just doing coursework, and you can just practice, 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 and but you in the dirty Discord you actually have the exam at the end under regulated conditions.
Yeah, 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 indeed, indeed.
Yeah. So, and that kind of brings me on to this idea that, Dirt Rally 3 is now, what, 3.5 years old? Sorry, Dirt Rally 2 is 3.5 years old. And we're coming up with newer ways to keep it fresh and exciting. And, the recent special event in Wales was kind of like that, where I maxed the degradation for almost every stage, and it completely transformed the identity and the characteristic of the rally, and it kept it fresh. Um, and it was like doing Wales like nobody's ever done it before, or so they say. So it's interesting that we can come up with these new ways of making the game interesting, and that's where Dries's bots come in because by introducing a power stage or a different scoring system, we're introducing new freshness into the game while we wait for EA Sports Rally or Dirt Rally 3 or whatever it's going to be. Anyone want to add anything to that?
Oh, you
Yeah, I
summarize it
think
perfectly, I think.
yeah, it's fun to see that people enjoy the bot. For me, I joined Dirt Rally 2 in the pretty late, I guess, because everybody has been playing it already for 2 years. Um, so it's fun to see that people still enjoyed it, and that stuff like this can refresh some of the interests.
Yeah, for sure. And it really does. It makes things very interesting. Um, in the events that have the power stage, for example, I might screw up. And think, oh damn, I was expecting to get second place here, and now I'm in seventh or eighth place. But then there's still the prospect of, no, I must continue and give it my all because there's a power stage to come. And that introduces something new to the game that I think has a lot of value. So yeah. So, have you guys been driving stuff recently in GRF? I know Stan, you had a bit of success recently with a win.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Surprisingly, a bit. Well, I didn't do that bad in the first one in Australia in the R5,
Okay.
but then the second one in the USA, I actually practiced a little bit to get used to the car stage combo because I like the USA a lot. And yeah, when I finished 3 days before the end of the event, I finished ahead of Toolmaker. I was already very happy,
Yep.
and finishing in first in the end is also very yeah, pleasing.
Right. And that was USA, right? That you did.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember what I did there. I'm just going through these results now. I think um,
You were in fifth, so I see. So Toolmaker second,
yes.
EV206 Max D was third, and then Gordon always at the top somewhere was fourth, and you were fifth. I think you had a small hiccup in one of the later
Oh,
stages
that's
where you
right.
lost.
That's right. Yeah. So recently I've had some bad entries, especially where I've been DNFing. And that was never how I used to do things, but now I'm taking bigger risks to get bigger prizes. Yeah, so I think what happened is in stage up to stage six, I was beginning to find my pace, and I was 3.5 seconds behind you, and then in stage seven, I had um, a bad crash, and then I did something stupid in stage eight as well, where I took a big jump and I was about to do an illegal cut, and my sense of ethics kind of overtook the idea that I didn't mean to do this because I just landed and I was landed wrong. So I swerved off the road to try and swerved onto the road to try to avoid the cut, but lost control of the car and ended up destroying my hopes of even the podium. But that was a great event and you did extremely well.
Yeah, it was nice to see for GRF as well. I mean, yeah, we kind of played on the fact that they were very popular car classes to drive and
Yep.
also a few popular stages, and it proved that we have a lot of participants here.
Yeah, we
But
had
I
over
had
a
I
hundred,
had a
right?
lot of fun. Yeah, we had 120 in the first one and also 120 for the second one ish.
Yeah,
So let's keep it
115.
up for
Yeah,
the third one. Yeah, let's
yeah.
keep it up for the third one, which is live now with Group A in Greece. I don't know Greece myself that well, so I'm training very hard, and I see like Gotti or Fish and yourself were already also on the stages, and some other people as well. I think I saw Knife Ninja as well.
Right.
Uh,
I haven't practiced for
setting
that at
setting.
all.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah. Then
Those are
I
old
must have
times.
accidentally met your names. Ah, okay. Then I must have accidentally met your names on the time trial.
Yeah, yeah, they're old ones, but I do plan to. Greece is a bit of um, a spot for me where it was the very first location I did in Dirt Rally one, and so I have a soft spot for Greece, and I want to do
Yeah.
well.
I think if people start pushing on Greece, we'll have a lot of DNFs. At least I had a lot of DNFs learning it. So,
Right.
and even now, knowing the stage already well, it's going to be difficult. Especially, I think a lot of people would take the Lancia. It's a
Yes.
bit an
Yeah.
understeery car. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can easily go off the mountainside and get a DNF there. So.
Oh, so Dries, did you do any of the recent GRF events?
The past week I've been very busy, so I usually do the dailies.
Okay.
But I was looking at the special events. Maybe I was gonna give that one a go. I just have
Okay.
to ask Stan to add me to some. I can add myself, but he's the manager of the tool,
Right.
so.
Right. 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 Right.
uh,
And do we have Denis with us?
Yes, yes. I've been
Hey.
here for a while.
Oh man. Okay. Should have said hi.
No,
I'm
I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
okay. I'm just gonna
Hi Dennis, good
adjust.
evening. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
hey.
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Nice
welcome.
to have you back.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe.
So, have you been doing them, Dennis? Have you been driving the GRF events?
Yes, I did everything this week, I think. I did the regular championship where I crashed out on one of the last stages.
Oh, yes, I see that.
Until yeah, until then, I think I didn't even do. I haven't even done that bad for my standards. I think I was around 25th or 6th or something like that, hoping to finish somewhere in the 20s or 30s, and then yeah, came over a crest. Car was a little bit too far on the right side, and I hit a rock at full speed, which totaled the car.
Oh, too far on the right side.
Yeah, I was too far. I don't remember which stage it
I
was. It
can
was
tell
just
you,
coming.
I can tell
I
you,
it
if
was
it's too far,
coming over. Yeah,
Talk Valley reverse, not
was it?
reverse, the Talk Valley sprint or the longer stage that has that if you hit the rock on the right after a jump.
Uh, it's kind of strange because it never happened to me before on that stage or in that to hit a rock in that spot. So yeah,
I hate that.
yeah, I was screaming in front of my TV because I really enjoyed myself. I took the focus as usual and it went well, and then yeah, suddenly it was just all over.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to see
Uh,
if I can.
That's what I was listening to your discussion you had before about the dirty what is it, weeklies, where you can practice the whole week and then do your run at the end. And I was just thinking for myself, oh boy, and I know why I'm not a huge fan of events like this, because if even if I would have time to practice like 4 or 5 days and then crash it on the actual run, I think I would kick myself in the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also did the special event,
Hmm.
uh, which was really good. I mean, the rally was really good that you put together, Joe. And
Right. Right. And you did better than I did, for sure.
I think I'm
Oh, you
currently
said you're third
somewhere
now. You said you're
still.
third now, Focus. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm getting nervous. I think this would be my first podium ever, even if it's only in GRF3. It would
Well,
be cool.
there's still a few days left, but good
Yeah,
luck with
I
that.
know.
So I did pretty well in two stages, and then I took a break because I was tired, and then I went back to it several days later, which was yesterday, and then I crashed and DNF'd within a sector and a half. So I was really disappointed because I wanted
Eh,
to drive the rally that I put together.
yeah.
But
Which was really, I have to repeat myself, which was really good with the stage degradation, the long stages at the beginning, the long stage at the end. It was fantastic.
oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a lot of feedback that I think it was more manageable because people had more service breaks. There wasn't an
Mm.
endurance component, but there was a different challenge this week, which was just rough conditions.
Mm.
Yeah, and landing the jump, that was also a big challenge for me at least. The car had it too stiff for really time trial purposes, and yeah, for longevity and not knowing the stages super well and jumping and then not having control. Yeah, went
Right,
as well as
you.
you would expect.
Yeah, I see that you DNF'd as well, right?
Yeah, pretty early on. Yeah,
Yeah, stage
indeed.
one, I think, and yeah, and same thing happened to me. It was, I think, after a jump. In fact, what happened was I had the details turned down on the screen, and due to another rally, and when I tried to drive in Wales, it looked like shit. And I thought, okay, I'll just finish one stage and then I'll change it. But it got to the point where I just couldn't stand it, so I paused the game after one sector and adjusted the settings so it looked nice, and then went straight into a jump that I was going too fast for and crashed. And I didn't have a spare because I wanted to try and keep up with Wookie, and I had 2.5 stages to go before I could change it, so I just retired,
Oh,
unfortunately.
everybody in GRF1 from third place on to eighth place has retired or crashed, huh? So it's only Wookiee and White Robot who have finished.
Yes, yes, I'm really proud
Oh,
of Void Robot for that.
I'm looking forward to try this later
wow.
on.
You
That's some
have
tough competition in GRF1, I see, when everybody crashes out.
Yes, yes. And you have till the end of Sunday, Dries, if you want to try it.
Yeah, I'll try it tonight, I think. I first have to fix the bot because I've totally broken it, but then I will give it a go.
Okay, yeah, good. So, well, while we're talking about the results, since we missed the podcast last week due to my screw up, Dennis, are you prepared to maybe talk about the results from last week?
Uh,
In
not really prepared at all, but yeah.
Okay, well, we can still do that. I think the we're talking about Australia, right? We didn't even,
Australia.
yeah,
Yeah,
what happened there?
I have a homepage open. We're talking about special events.
No, the actual regular
Ah,
event,
okay,
regular event.
okay.
So, we had typecast Wookiee in first, the mystery Swede Olsen 1964 BYN in second, and then another Swede something thing in the Skoda Fabia R5 in third place, and then Toolmaker in fourth in the Polo, and What Do You Mean um, in the Mitsubishi Space Star in fifth. So that guy's a character. What do you mean? He's
He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he's fast, and he's our only one from Hong Kong.
Mm.
Yeah, suddenly I see him around a lot as well on the time trial leaderboard somewhere up high. So
Yeah, and he's
I
in
don't
the
know if it's
Dirty Discord as well. He's participating in lots of chat.
okay, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, it's excellent. He's seems to be a good guy, very fast, and he sparked a lot of discussion when people like, "What's that flag?" With the
I knew it from the beginning.
yes, yes, I did not. I was like, you know, yeah, I didn't know what it was at all, and I thought, um, I won't even ask and show my
Uh,
ignorance.
I'm a bit of a flag person, so to me it was clear. But I didn't want to. When people were asking, I didn't want to brag and say, "Hey, I know what flag it is." So
Yeah, well, he's
yeah,
really participating. Sorry, go ahead.
definitely there. I think there's not a lot of Asian guys, anyways, in Dirt Rally 2.0. Or it seems that I don't see don't see a lot of Asian flags around, except the occasional Chinese one.
Yeah, Catty.
So
Catty will not like that
Yeah,
comment, I think.
who?
Catty,
Catty.
seven, something.
Never heard of him.
He's always or usually first in the challenges. See, Catty 7073.
Okay,
He's one of
where
the
is he
most
from?
China, I think.
China, I think.
China.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
one.
okay, then yeah, then he's the occasional Chinese flag that I see, I guess.
Right, so he's the occasional Chinese flag, but he's pretty much at the top of everything. And basically, he's one of these guys that when you do a faster time than him, you'll take a screenshot and post it and say, "Hey, I beat Catty."
Ah,
And
okay.
there's a famous YouTube video of a guy who it's almost 30 minutes long, and it's basically about his journey through Dirt Rally 2, and how he played for a few months and he thought he was pretty hot shit, and then when he started doing community challenges, he'd see Catty always at the top, and he couldn't believe that this
Uh,
this guy could actually be so fast without cheating, and he was really pissed off. And then he started following him in the ghosts and seeing that the guy wasn't cheating, he was just super fast, and so he
mm,
started to this big campaign to improve himself, get into
mm.
the top
Oh,
100
cool.
and so on, and it's a really
I'd,
good video.
yeah. You can post up the link maybe later.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. I
Uh,
will. Everyone should see
but
that.
it's funny how it's kind of always the same thing. As long as you play offline, a game, you think you're the best in the world, and then you take your skill levels online, and then you see that you're just nowhere. And the funny thing is, like 2 days ago, I had the exact same experience because I tried to get a friend of mine involved in Dirt Rally 2.0. So we set up a championship online
Yeah,
on the console, And I have never done an online championship in Dirt Rally 2.0 where you drive at the same time against different
Yes,
drivers.
yes.
And we set up, I think it was three championships, and we had lobbies with seven, I think it was six, seven people, random people we didn't know, and I won all of the rallies.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's not even possible. I'm not that good to win three online rallies. That's just not possible. So yeah, it's kind of the same experience.
And they weren't bots. It was just actual people.
No,
That's really
it was actual people, and I was thinking, wait, it's not possible that I'm faster than these guys because I'm not the greatest Dirt Rally 2.0 player.
well. No, that's really cool. But you know what? We do have a very high standard. You know, in
Yeah,
these big clubs now.
I mean, the thing is, if you play a video game, and it doesn't really matter if it's Dirt Rally or I don't know, Call of Duty or FIFA or whatever, the people that you then meet in dedicated discords or online forums or whatever, that's always the like creme de la creme, the
Yeah,
fastest guys, because these people are really into the game,
yeah. And or there are people who are improving, you know, or still improving and want to get. They're quite serious
right?
about it. So yeah,
Mm.
okay, very cool. So yeah, let's. We did Australia, and then we talked about New England, where Shinyo won in the regular championship. In the special championship, we had last time we had New Zealand in the rear wheel drive H2, I believe. And tier one had to take the Escort, tier two had to take the Alpine, tier three could take any car other than those two. And here we had, well, do you want to go through? Uh, does anyone have access to the
Yeah, I have it in
results?
front of me if you want.
Yep.
Yeah, so for GRF 1, we had Wookie winning it again. Ed Rosa in second, and What Do You Mean? We discussed him already, but here as well, he topped the charts as well as a bronze medal. And for GRF 2, we had Solidus winning it again, Lars T with a podium, and Noxter or Nox75 and third. And for GRF 3, newcomer Belver KR, I hope I pronounced it correctly, in first. The Jika, also longtime member, in second, and Silent Killer in third. And
Excellent.
no golden pineapples.
Excellent.
Again, second week in a row, no golden pineapples. But I think now in Wales, we already have a winner again. No?
Yes. Yes, we do. So we have a golden pineapple winner in GR Special. That's someone who took the wrong car. We have two.
Yeah, I checked
Oh,
yesterday, and it was two. I think one of them is
oh,
Peanut.
Yes.
Didn't
Peanut
didn't
really
somebody
likes pineapple.
Yeah.
didn't somebody contact him like last week or
Yes.
so?
Well, we found out who he was on Discord, but I don't think we ever got him talking to us. So.
So Dennis, who was the person who took um, the C4?
I don't know by heart.
Ah, where's he from?
Uh, I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, it's a flag that has a black vertical stripe, a yellow vertical stripe, and a red vertical stripe.
Germany,
Yeah.
Belgium, vertical,
Yeah,
Germany.
vertical. Yeah, Belgium. So,
What? The
yes,
Belgians would never do that.
yes.
Belgians
Always
wouldn't make
surprise. We always
mistakes.
surprise. Oh no.
Maybe he just likes pineapple. I don't know.
It's probably someone from the German-speaking part of Belgium.
Yeah.
It's maybe a German that didn't know his own flag, so he chose the Belgian
Yeah,
flag. Something that happens always.
yeah. Easy to confuse.
I must admit, I get them confused. I thought it was a Belgian flag, but then when you said it was German at first, Dennis, I was like, oh shit, I got it wrong.
Oh, come on.
Because you're the flag expert, right? I listen to
Ah,
the experts. I don't trust myself now, my own judgment anymore. So, yeah, okay. So what about the dailies? I'm just gonna quickly shift to the dailies.
I only
So,
did one of those.
pardon?
I only did one of those of the dailies, and that was the GT one.
Right, right. And I think last week, so the week that we missed, that was, oh yeah, it was all-wheel drive only, like it was Group B all-wheel drive last week.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to have a quick look at the championship standings for that. Um, there we go. So last week in the dailies, it was actually it's getting quite interesting there because we've got Anti, What Do You Mean, Toolmaker, Jandar, people who do it frequently, almost daily. So last week it was won by Toolmaker. I was second. Darrow or Jandar was third. Anti was fourth, and What Do You Mean fifth. Typecast Wookie was sixth, but basically, if he participates, he usually wins that day, but he doesn't always participate. So we had quite a few people participating last week. I think it was um, 59 at least, and then this week so far,
No,
um,
59.
yeah, this week we've got um, quite a few people as well. I think I've won it this week, maybe. Oh no, no, it's Friday today, so there's still I can be caught. What do you mean
20,
is
20 points ahead of what do you mean?
that's right. So, but I saw that you can get more than 20 points in a single event, so I could, if I don't participate or do badly, I could easily lose this. What do you mean is second, and he's been pushing me hard. Typecast Wookie as well. I beat him yesterday, but he took a Camaro when I took a Porsche, and so that I had a bit of an advantage. And Mickey Donald, he's been showing up a lot here and the Dirty Discord. He's in fourth right now. And we have Ed Rosa, Shinyo, VH80, Void Robot, Knife Ninja, all these guys. It's really cool to see this daily competition. Stein, could you talk about maybe what the results of the time trial for August was in the end? Do you have that
Yeah,
handy?
so I think do we summarize July already as well? I don't know,
Sure,
but
since
anyway,
it's all come to a
for
close, may
for
as well.
for completion, well, for July we had Toolmaker winning it, and Miwi in second, and myself in third. And for the event in Greece with the golf, which concluded, and I still need to make a result page about. We had Weepy winning it, Toolmaker in second, and Knife Ninja came in last week and took third off of Void Robots. So congratulations, everyone. We still
Congrats.
have a kind of active challenge, which is the one Knife Ninja proposed, which is in Hamelati in Finland with the Citroen C4. For
Ah,
anyone who wants to try and beat his time, uh, I tried it a few times and I was very close. There's a few guys already surpassed that, so that's already also a nice challenge we have going on.
right. And Dries Hamelati is the this week's Dirty Discord challenge in the NR4 class. How's that
I,
going for you?
I don't want to talk about it. No, I yeah, practice went okay. Was a bit frustrated that I couldn't figure out the 15 seconds to what the aliens were setting,
Yeah.
but I decided to run it anyway, and I had a bad landing, so I oversteered into a tree, and then whenever I crash, I get nervous, and then I lose my feeling for braking, so I oversteered a couple of times again.
Oh, so you've done
So
it already.
yeah, I try to reduce my practice time a lot this
Okay.
season.
Yes.
The format
That's
for me, the format stays very addictive. I guess is the right words because you always want to set a good time. But I don't. I try to not invest as much time as I used to, and it keeps working out to set competitive times. But yeah, I try to limit myself to 2 sessions of practice, and then I just send it. And this week I was unlucky
Ah, that is unlucky.
with the landing.
Yeah, I tried. But you finished, right?
Yeah, I finished, and I knew I was gonna mess up that specific corner. I knew when I was starting, I have to pay attention to that corner because I know I messed it up a lot, and still it happens.
Which
That's
one?
what made it so frustrating.
Can Yeah, which one?
It's the corner where you have a big jump into a flat right, but you really have
Ah,
to aim it
yes,
to the
yes.
right already, because otherwise you end up in the
Trees. Yeah.
there's a little cliff side on the left side of the road there, and I ended up in the cliffs. And that happened a couple of times at Tide Travel, and I always got away with it. But yeah, as I said in the chat there, the laws of the actual run work differently. You always get
Yeah,
unlucky or
nervous or something.
but yeah, I'm happy this season. I'm a lot less nervous during these runs. I
Yeah,
used to be get
same here.
extremely nervous doing the run. Um,
I think not finishing in the top 12 last time um, really just put things in perspective, and now I'm just trying to have more fun with it. I tried to do my second training session yesterday, and I ended up um, not being able to get close to my previous best, which was done on my very second run. And then when I did suddenly start to get green sectors and I was ahead, my game crashed, and I thought, okay, screw it, it's time to go to bed. And so I quit at that point. So,
yeah,
okay,
some days you don't get into the flow or don't feel the corners the way you should.
right. So, Dennis, is there anything since you arrived later on? Is there anything that you want to bring up and before we start wrapping up?
Um, Nothing specific. Um, I posted before that if you guys are interested, Grid Legends is now on Xbox Game Pass, which you can also play on PC. Um, it's another Codemasters game, which is I think it's an arcade game, but it's great fun.
Okay, cool. And any
Uh,
shout outs to anyone, Dennis?
uh, you have me on the wrong foot now.
Oh,
I'm really not prepared.
no, no worries. Come
Oh, but
back to it. We'll come back to it.
I forgot to congratulate Shinyo on his New England win. So
Okay.
congratulations, Shinyo. Shout out to Shinyo.
All right. And Stan, is there anything else you want to talk about? And maybe shout outs to anyone?
Not necessarily something we have to talk about here. I think there's a few more podcasts coming with all interesting subjects. I think next podcast will be nice to talk a bit more about tuning, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That was Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know, shout out wise. I'm not going to mention anyone in particular. I think we have a really nice active community at GRF, and everyone who I've been interacting with. Shout out to yourself.
Okay, cool. Yeah, with the tuning, we're hopefully having one of our resident aliens typecast Wookie talk about it. He and I talked about it on a longer podcast where it was just a one-on-one conversation a bit, but I think that was many months ago, and I think he's had some more tuning insights since then. We'll hopefully get him on the show soon to talk about it and maybe do a whole series. Um, I've actually started taking requests for people who are less experienced than I am. So for my streams, if they want a particular stage in a particular car, I'll try and do a tuning thing and get into the top 100 or top 50, and see if we can iteratively get some tuning and talk about why I'm doing the things that I do. And I had someone ask me for one of those videos, and I did that, and it's going to be a big subject, I think, for us to discuss in podcasts in the future. So, Dries, is there anything you want to add, or you want to shout outs to anyone?
Nothing to add. Just want to shout out to James and Boring Demo from the Dirty Discord. Dirty Gossip Discord. They're part of the reason why I really enjoyed getting into Dirt Rally 2. When I first started out, we started noticing that we were setting similar times, so that naturally created a competition. And then we got our Huizingveld sprint pedals together at the same time. So we
Ah,
still chat on a daily basis in a group chat.
Heusingfeld.
Yeah,
Wow.
we call
Wow.
ourselves the Huizingveld Sprint Gang. So you're only allowed if you have them.
I'll call you guys Heusingfeld Moneybags, something like that.
Yeah, that's maybe more accurate. So yeah, shout out to them. I really enjoy chatting with them and having the
yeah.
competitions with
I
them.
saw that dynamic early on with you guys, and it made, even though it was not part of it, but it made just seeing that dynamic between you guys kind of reassured me that the Dirty Discord was a kind of a fun community, and there was a wasn't just a bunch
Yeah,
of individuals. It was quite cool to see that.
yeah,
So
it's fun. Whenever the bot posts one of our times, you we get a private message instantly, or how did you do that, or what happened, or it's fun.
talking of which, there was um, yeah, there was in one of my streams, Shinyo said a really good time in the daily, and at one point I couldn't help it. I just said, Shinyo, what did you do when I'm like driving and I'm not catching his time? That was funny. Um, yeah, okay, so good shout out to Damo and James, because you guys have the same pedals. I'd like to make a few shout outs actually to some of the rest of the Dirty Discord gang that is with us now, as well. So we have um, Van Briesbroek or Koivu Nastasia, who drives with us sometimes. Now we also have, well, there's a lot of crossover, so Knife Ninja, Void, and all of those guys. But my main shout outs would have to be to What Do You Mean from Hong Kong and Anti, who've joined recently, and they're really adding new dimensions to the competition, because now there's a
Yeah,
bunch of
I
us.
wanna elaborate. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Oh, yeah, just now there's a new dimension to the competition, because it's not just Toolmaker and myself and a few others. There's a lot more people that you have to try and beat. And it makes, once you set a good time, it makes you nervous for longer until other people have had their runs to see whether your time is going to survive or not. So I love that. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to elaborate a bit on Antti. It's really nice to have him with us as well, actually. And he also has a very interesting stream for anyone who wants to see. And what I wanted to say actually is like, and you mentioned before as well, Joe, when you're streaming, that you still have the mental capacity to add other stuff to it. I don't have that. I mean, when I'm driving, nothing can be added. But when Antti or you're driving, you guys can like talk and still have room to do other stuff than drive. And
Yeah,
I
that's
find it very
crazy.
respectable.
Yeah, definitely.
I try
Uh,
not to talk. I find it very hard to talk.
but,
Okay, then that's just
but it's
anti, but still,
natural.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
In between stages, while I'm chatting or asking questions or whatever, and in
Yeah, yeah,
between
yeah.
stages, he reads it and he thinks a bit about it, and then in a difficult corner section, he starts talking and answering questions like, okay, I would not be able to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm doing it a bit more and getting better at it, but for serious stuff, I can't. If I'm just
But
practicing, I'll do that.
I think it's so hard to be a good streamer while when streaming rally games.
For
It's
sure.
just
Yeah.
yeah, it's really it's 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 unfortunately, but that's just the nature of it. Rally games are not like the number one games to stream to because it's so difficult. I mean, can't talk at all while I'm driving. And as I said in one of the streams before, I mean, I'm able to do like one rally at a time or in one evening, and then my concentration is gone. While other people, they played for 3.5 hours every day and do a stream and talk about it and still set like top world times. It's really crazy. And like I said before, when I this week when I tried to get a friend of mine involved in Dirt Rally 2.0, we played for like an hour or an hour and 15 minutes. And after that, he said, that's so exhausting. You have to
Yes, it
fully
is.
focus on this game. Yeah.
You can be
Uh,
sweating like crazy, and when my wife has
yeah.
tried it, she's really feels she's getting a core workout because she's being tense,
Uh,
holding it in, quite tensely. I think the great thing about anti-stream, he can interact with people. I get viewers on my stream, but they're usually the day after because they're mostly in Europe, and I stream very late at night, so I don't have a
Usually
live
at
chat thing going.
5:30.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't have a live stream chat going on as well. But really, the only reason I stream is so that there's a recording of my runs. And but over the years, or over the last year, I've managed to get a few people watching, which is not really the primary purpose of it. I like Anti-Stream because uh, he's, he has his emotions on his sleeve, so you can tell when he's really pissed off or when he's happy with something, and it's really cool to see.
Uh,
So yeah,
and he has an
recommended.
awesome accent.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Okay, guys. Well, let's wrap it up then for today if there's nothing else. And I'm looking forward to having you guys on again in the future, Stijn and Dries. It would be great to have you come back in a little while. And Shinyo, since you're an admin, you're always welcome to co-host with us.
Yeah, for sure. Would love to.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. Thank you for doing this
Thanks, guys.
twice. Yeah, thank you to all of you for doing this twice.
It was
This
actually a
time,
completely different conversation this time, so I actually enjoyed it. And not that I wouldn't enjoy it, but I
Ah, I
actually
was
enjoyed
just
it a
reading
lot.
from the auto cue from the last conversation.
well, I did want it to be different because I felt that it would be quite artificial, if we were just doing exactly the same thing this time. But I'm glad it worked out. Okay, guys. Well, I'll say goodbye and let you guys do the same. Bye, everyone.
All right,
Bye,
goodbye.
guys.
Thanks.
Bye.